Hi, welcome to yoga. This is Lindsay McDougall, and I'm happy to teach you today. Looking forward to our class. Make sure you have your props, and I'll be offering variations and stuff. So a blanket, a block, and a strap, and more details in the video description in terms of what we go through today. But always good to have that extra support. And we will get started on our mats. Make sure you have a lot of space. Let's come into Shavasana pose. Shavasana is our corpse pose. So just let the whole body be relaxed. Tuck the shoulders underneath. And acclimate yourself now to the ground, just letting everything sink in, letting everything be relaxed. Taking a deep breath in and exhaling. Lengthening the inhales, deepening the exhales, emptying all the breath. Coming into this present moment, letting everything go for this time that we have for movement and connection to our heart, the expression in our body, the movement of prana for our health, our vitality. And continuing to particularly deepen the exhale, and as you do that, contracting in the abdomen, lifting through the pelvic floor, and then on the inhale, releasing that and letting the breath flow up into the neck, shoulders, head, softening the eyes. Noticing how natural it feels to breathe. That we do all the time, every day, but rarely do we pay attention. So paying attention to this body right now. Good. Let's bring the left arm across the body and bring the right arm to pull it across, getting a stretch behind the shoulders. And other arm, bring the right arm across the chest, grab it with the left, keeping the shoulders down. And then opening up the arms above the head on the ground, reaching and stretching the whole body, pressing the heels away, palms away, hollowing out the armpits, outer shoulders up towards the ceiling, lengthening the spine. And exhale, bend the right knee, pull it into the chest, and keep the left leg nice and long and strong. You're engaging that left quad. Sacrum is level, and bring that right knee closer into the right armpit. And exhale, left hand on top of the right knee, roll to the left side, opening up the right arm into a passive twist here. You can let the right shoulder come up a bit. You look to the right, and exhale, bring that right knee to center again, give it a squeeze, and switch sides, left knee in, pull the left knee towards the left armpit, and then lengthen the right leg away. So even as we're getting this hamstring hip stretch on the left side, we're also lengthening the right side of the body. And then exhale, bring that left knee across the body, open up the left arm, and just a passive twist to the right side. Making any adjustments, noticing the breath. And inhale, back to the center, squeeze the left knee in. Good, and exhale. Let's curl up, lengthening the feet and the arms towards the feet. Let's curl the upper body towards the legs. And then come to seated. And then keep going, reaching the arms forward, past the toes. And then exhale, rolling the spine down from tailbone all the way up to shoulders and neck. Relax the head down. Reach the arms back. And then exhale, flow up, curling the back, engaging the abs, sitting up, reaching forward from the chest, open arms, and exhale, curl back down again. Really paying attention to the breath and curling the spine, getting the breath into those low back areas, into the chest, reaching the arms up and over the head. Exhale. Let's move with the breath, reaching forward. And exhale, curl down. Arms up and over the head. Inhale, and then as you exhale, sitting up, reaching forward again. Do this 2 more times, really paying attention to the breath and getting the breath into all parts of the body, keeping the legs engaged, feet engaged. Exhale, coming up. And last one, curling down. Bringing mindfulness. Reaching up, sitting up. Good. And then bring the feet in. Right knee comes back behind the hips. And then the left foot touches the right thigh. And then let's twist over to the right. Bringing that left hand outside the right shin. Turning the head. And there's a hummingbird outside my window saying hello to us. Tapping at the window. Oh, it's gone. Okay. Let's turn the other way. Hummingbirds are such a miraculous sign of nature. Looking over that left shoulder. And then lean back, bring both knees up, and then bring the knees over to the right so that the inside of the left knee comes down, and then the right foot the sole of the foot can rest on the thigh. And then the left hip's going to be up a little bit. Let's twist to the left. And continue that spiraling twist up through the neck and head. And then exhale, twist the other way. Right hand behind the sacrum, left hand outside the right knee. Look over that right shoulder. Good, and then let's walk our hands to the front of the mat, coming to tabletop. Lift the chest, lengthen. Exhale, curl abdomen in, tuck the chin. Inhale, lengthen. Elbows back. Exhale, press the floor away. Lift the spine towards the ceiling. moving with the breath. Inhale, take a full inhale. And then exhale, empty the breath, tuck the tail. And then tuck the toes under. Bend the elbows slightly. Rotate the hands a little externally, so you're looking at the four fingers that they're parallel. And then walk yourself back into down dog. Pedal out your dog, bringing your weight from one foot to the other. Bending the elbows, straightening them, rolling those biceps towards the ceiling. Dropping the head. Getting that breath deep into the body. Let's inhale, come forward to plank. Let's hold our plank, looking forward. Press the legs up into the hips, meaning strengthen the quads, reach the heels away, and then elbows back, and then lift the torso up. Hollow out the armpits, the side ribs, and then lengthen the head forward. And then slowly, if it feels good to come into chaturanga, bend the elbows, slowly lower down the chest, looking forward. And then let's come into a baby cobra, bringing the toes together and pressing all 10 toes into the mat. Wide sacrum, lift the chest. Shoulder heads down the back. And then exhale, untuck the toes, press into the hands, elbows in, lift the hips, coming back into child's pose. And then curling the back up into down dog. Let's do a little bit of movement there. So bending the knees in down dog, hovering the knees here, and then pressing the heels back, dropping the head. Come forward into plank, bend the knees, hover, and then press the hips back with the heels, coming into down dog. So a little bit of flow, kind of like cat-cow, except we're going forward to plank, dropping the knees, hover, pressing the hips back, and then move with the breath here. So curl the back, curl the chin, coming forward into plank. Look forward. Elbows back, knees down. And then press into your cat pose. Your cow pose up into down dog. Good. Inhale the right leg back. Open up the hips, spread the toes, the right toes to the left. And then square the hips, bend the knee towards the right elbow, hover. Swing it to the left elbow, and to the right, and back into three-legged dog. Lower the right leg slowly, down dog here. Left leg into three-legged dog, lifting, and then open up that hip, bend the left knee, and then reach and spread those left toes towards the right, as if you could touch the right wall. Square the hips, lift the left leg. Exhale, pull everything in on the exhale, engaging the core, bringing that left knee to the left elbow, to the right elbow, back to touch the left elbow, lift, and three-legged dog. Lengthen in your three-legged dog, drop the head, pull the low ribs in, lift the sits bones, and exhale, down dog. Look forward. Let's make our way to the front of the mat so you can lift the right leg, hop, step, or jump. Bringing the left leg to meet it. Inhale halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees. Lengthen the side ribs, lengthen the sides of the body out of the pelvis. Create a nice, flat sacrum area. And you can grab opposite elbows and move side to side here. And then let's inhale together, opening up the arms, lifting the chest, reaching all the way up, tucking the tailbone, chest and underarms lift. Exhale, hands to heart center. And then let's come into our mountain pose. Hands by our sides, looking at how our stance are with our feet. Inner thighs rolling back. Weight even between the heels, the balls of the feet. As you ground into the soles of the feet, lifting the chest, rolling the palms forward, shoulders back and down. And really embody the essence of the mountain here. The ridges, peaks, valleys, the strength, the sturdiness, the timelessness. Good. Let's open up into some sun salutations, reaching the arms back. Exhale, forward fold. Drop the head, empty the mind. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, place the hands, lock or step back to plank. Lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog or high cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the heels, look forward. Come back to the top of your mat. Step or hop halfway. And exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Shoulders up and back. Exhale, place the hands, hop or step to chaturanga. If you're stepping, you're coming to plank and lowering slowly, just like we did the first time. Lift the chest through the arms. Pinky toes touch the mat. Exhale, down face dog. Adho Mukha. Inhale, look forward. Bend the knees, hop or step to the top of the mat. Halfway pose. Hips back, chest forward. Exhale. Drop down. Inhale, open up the arms. Gather in some of the heavens, into the heart. And let's come into chair pose. Sweep the arms behind as you sit back, and then reach the hands forward, squeezing the thighs together, inner thighs down, knees touching, and then can you bring strength through the entirety of the spine, pulling the low ribs in so that both from the front and the back, it's helping you keep the spine lifted. Let's open the arms out to the side and then lift the chest in this variation of Utkatasana. Exhale, hands to heart center, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, hop or step back to plank chaturanga. Lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog or high cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. So depending on your needs and what your body is telling you and how you're feeling today, as I give these instructions for vinyasa, you can take any kind of variation for that vinyasa. So if you need to stop in child's before down dog, etc., by all means. And then let's lift the right leg. Sweep it through the right wrist, left heel down. Let's come to warrior one. And let's grab opposite elbows here. Reaching the elbows high, and then pressing the weight back into that left outer heel, and rotating the chest and navel center forward. Once we have that, let's bend the right knee. And can you drop the shoulders and reach the head out of the neck? Reach the neck out of the shoulders. And then pull everything in and back through the torso. Good. Let's reach the arms up, straighten them out, look up, and then exhale. Let's make the arms into a clasp behind the back and come into humble warrior, leaning forward. Right hip is in line with the left heel, so bring that right hip in as you roll the shoulders up and over the head. So in other words, not letting the right hip totally swing out. We're still keeping that right leg engaged. Good, and then low lunge here, left foot, left heel up, left hand down, right arm twisted low lunge. And then bring that left elbow to the back of the mat, and then reach the chest forward, out of the hips. Engage that left glute. Lift and lengthen the hips. Arms by the ear. And let's take a vinyasa here. Lowering down. Upward facing. And downward facing dog. Left leg comes back. Exhale, let's come into warrior one on the left side. Right heel down. Sweep the arms up and grab the opposite elbows. So if you had the elbows grabbed one way, do it the other way. For me, that's my right hand on top of my left elbow. And then straighten out the left leg a little so you can come into that back outer heel. And then rotate the chest forward, navel center forward. And then from here, bend the left knee, still maintaining that anchor in the back foot. So in all of our lunges and all of our standing postures, the back leg is really important. Keeps us open and flexible. As you come further, drop the shoulders. Lift the neck and head out of the sternum, out of the clavicle area. And in so doing, the chest, the abs, the torso grows in integrity, strength through the core. And then lengthen the arms into our full warrior one. And then bring the arms behind the back. Take the clasp the weird way. It feels sort of less natural. Roll the shoulders back. And then humble warrior, leaning forward, rolling the shoulders up and over. And just make sure that you're keeping safe, like your knees not coming off to the side, your hips not coming off to the side. Just keeping strength through both feet as you release the upper back here. And then inhale, bring that right hand down, right heel comes up, open up into a twist to the left, right elbow back, lengthen the chest in this low lunge twist, squeeze the right glute, Notice the breath here. And that left hand by the ear. And then come into your vinyasa. Place the left hand down, left foot back, lower down. Navel to thumbs, upward facing dog, pinky toes down. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Hop or step to the top of your mat. Halfway pose. And exhale, forward fold. Bring the feet together, knees together. Sweep the arms up. Sit back, Utkatasana chair. Lengthen through the chest and let the arms, outer arms, underarms be an extension of the chest, of the clavicle, moving upward and outward. And then squeeze those thighs together as you sit back. Reach for something you desire, last breath. And then exhale, straighten the legs. Hands to heart center. Open up the arms. Reach the ceiling. Exhale, come into mountain pose. Okay, we'll make some adjustments to our sun salutation here. Take a moment to center yourself, ground yourself into the mountain. Let's sit back, heels back, come into chair pose. Bring the hands to heart center and twist the elbows to bring that outside, twist to the left so the right elbow comes outside the left knee. And then the thumbs are touching the sternum. But make sure that right knee is not coming too forward, so bring that right knee back. Lengthen from right hip to left shoulder. Get into that breath. Good. From here, maintain this posture. See if you can bring that right foot back without changing your hands or your left leg into a high lunge twist. If you need to lower the right knee to the ground as you take this twist, that's fine. Sometimes I like to do a hybrid where I lower the right knee to adjust, and then I lengthen it out. So inner thighs back, strong left quad, strong right leg. Open up the arms if it feels good. And then exhale. Take the vinyasa, meet back in down dog. Then inhale, lift the left leg. Open up the hips. And then bend the left knee. And then pivot on the right foot to bring the left leg down on the floor behind you, coming into wild thing. So you can choose to have the right leg straight or bring it parallel to the left leg, whatever feels good to you. And then pivoting back up to three-legged dog on the right foot, reaching back, and then exhale, come into your down dog. Inhale, bring the right foot back. Sweep it forward to the right wrist. Let's come to warrior two. Open up the arms. Strong back leg, internal rotation. Bend into the right knee. And then stack Shoulders on top of hips. And just bring your shoulders up to your ears. Ooh, and then drop those shoulders, looking over that third finger of the right leg. So there's like a slight, let's open up the palms to the ceiling here. So the biceps and the palms are face up. And then keeping the biceps up, just roll the wrists down. So there's that opening and that rolling back to the upper arms. But the wrists are, the palms are face down. And let's come to our side angle. Right elbow on the right knee. I'm going to bring my left foot in a little bit so it's lined up with my front heel. And then bring that left arm across the room to lengthen by the left ear. And then roll the chest towards the ceiling. Look up under the arm. So I'm going to invite you to bring that right arm next to the right ear. A little core strength, a little work in the abdomen. Drop the right hip under towards the left heel. And then exhale, take a vinyasa. Ooh, feeling that in the right quad, huh? That's why we have these vinyasas, to even out the muscles. And exhale down. Look forward, bend the knees. Hop or step, make your way to the top of your mat. Inhale halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, take chair pose. Ankles, knees together. Reach the arms away from the hips. And then straighten out into our Urdhva hands to heart center. Good. Take a deep inhale and exhale, let everything out. Lengthen the back of the head, empty the mind. Squeeze quads, ground heels. Let's make our way to the other side. Sit back, chair pose. Bend the knees, hands to heart center. Twist to the right. Bring that elbow outside the right knee. And then look at how the left knee wants to come forward. Don't let it do that. Bring it back to line up with the right. And again, left hip to right shoulder, long line. Thumbs to heart center. Squeeze that lower abdomen in and back, inner thighs down and back. Find a nice twist here, nice balance. And then get slightly heavier on the right foot. And then step the left foot back, changing nothing about the upper body. Twisted high lunge here. You need to drop that left knee to find your way, or if this is more comfortable for you. Or you can do it and then lengthen out. Squeeze the left glute, twist. Open up the arms. Exhale. And on your next inhale, frame the right foot, come into vinyasa here. Upward facing, downward facing, and then the right leg comes up, bend the knee, and reach the right foot across, and then as you do, the weight's going to shift to the left, so pivot on that left foot, and just gently place the right foot down behind you, don't overthink, and open up the chest to the ceiling into Wild Thing. Pressing the hips up. This feels great on the shoulder, I think. And then exhale. Come back to three-legged dog. And lower into downward facing dog. Good. Steady exhale for a couple breaths. Pull the low ribs in. Drop the head and neck. Shake yes and no. Outer shoulders down, biceps up. Thumb and forefinger pressing in. Nice down dog in here. Good. Left leg back. Sweep it forward. Warrior 2 on the left. Open up the arms. And then let's bring our palms to face up the ceiling. And so in so doing with the palms face up, create a nice wide space from the center of your clavicle, the center of your sternum, across the tops of the shoulders. And then just roll just the wrist part down, maintaining that openness. Tuck the tailbone, bend that left knee a little more. And then leaning forward, bringing the left elbow to the left knee, right arm by the ear. I'm going to step my right foot in a little bit so that my left knee is more 90 degrees. And then I feel a little scrunching on the top of my left hip. So I'm going to lengthen the chest away and then roll that left hip under towards the right heel. And then lengthen the left arm by the ear. And then rotate the chest towards the ceiling. So this is getting into the obliques, into the left groin, hamstring. Reach. And then exhale, take a vinyasa. Plank pose. Lower down, look forward. Elbows back. Upward facing dog. Look up between the eyes. Exhale. Downward facing dog. And then take a child's pose here. Bending the knees and just dropping the forehead down. Good. Okay, then let's come to tabletop. And then sit back. And bring the left heel outside the right hip. I'm sorry, bring the right heel next to the right hip and then lengthen the left leg. And then you can bring your left hand behind your hips. Raise the right arm. And then exhale, reach the right arm towards the left big toe. And for some of you, you might be able to actually grab the right toe and then pull that knee in to touch the top of the right shoulder. So my knee's kind of touching on the posterior side, the back side of my armpit. If you need a strap, have one handy. Let's take a bind here. So I'm going to extend my arm. roll my wrist down, thumb side down, and then simply bend the elbow as I bring my arm around towards the back. So my upper arm is wrapped around, and for more length, you might even bring your armpit over your knee and then roll that shoulder forward. So the knee is almost in the armpit. And then the left arm's going to come around, so that strap's going to come in handy. You can grab the right hand to the right wrist. Not left hand to right wrist, but right hand to left. And then twist the head towards the left, squeezing that right knee in. Right heel drops the right hip. And notice the breath in the low back, in the abdomen, in the chest, in the mind. Good. And release the grip. And then bring the hands to either side of the right foot and extend the right leg long. Kind of a half crane pose. Drop the shoulders, lengthen the chest, press the heel away. So it's getting a stretch into this hamstring, calf muscle. Good. And then exhale, bring that right foot on top of the left knee. And bring let's come into cow face pose. So bend the left knee so that the knees are stacked here. And then, just like we did last week, you're going to bring your right arm behind the waist. Have the strap handy if you need one. And then the left elbow is going to bend by the ear. So I'll demonstrate this from behind. And then from here, if you need to grab a strap in both hands to make that grab, or you can try just fingertips, even just like the middle finger, and then maybe a clasp here, and then continuously rotating the left shoulder, outer shoulder forward, inner elbow back, and then lengthen the whole spine, and then exhale, lean forward, coming into that right outer hip. So the elbows are moving away from each other. You're really feeling a stretch in that right outer hip, glute, maybe even the obliques and the back muscles. And then inhale, coming up, release the grip, slowly come out, lean back, straighten out the legs. And then let's try this on the other side. So bend the left knee. And scoot your hip towards the left heel and lengthen that right leg. I have my right hand behind my right hip to give me a little bit of leverage for a straight spine. And then lift the left arm. And lean forward, reaching that left arm towards the big toe. And maybe it comes to the big toe. But what I want us to focus on is not letting that left knee kind of sag out to the side, but bringing that left knee in to touch the outer left armpit. Really technical words here. The dorsal armpit, posterior armpit, okay. And then you can even kind of bring the armpit itself over the knee. And then arms straight out, rotate the thumb side down, bend the elbow so that the palm of the so that the top of the hand comes outside the left hip. And then that left hand is going to grab right wrist, not the other way around, and twist to the right. So whatever you can grab, a strap, fingertips, fingers, palm, wrist. And once you have something steady, roll the right leg to be square of the ceiling. Left hip comes down, squeezing, exhaling, twisting. Clearly better on my right than my left, and that's okay. my heel won't stay steady. The deeper the exhales, the more you can twist. Good. And release, look forward. Release the grip. Both hands grab the left foot, and then press the heel up into this half crane pose, looking forward, lifting the chest. And heels away, especially the left heel, so you can feel that stretch into the back of the leg there. Good. And we'll do this a little more gracefully this time. So you can bend the right knee in towards the hip here, so that the right heel comes towards the hip, and then pull that left knee to bend, stacking knees. So left knee on top of right knee into cow face. And then this time we're bringing the left hand behind the waist and the right elbow by the ear. So we're giving ourselves a pat on the back. Very important. Sorry for the cheesy joke. And then walk that, or kind of shimmy that left hand up to grab fingertips or a strap. And once you have that grab, then press the elbows away, lengthen the chest, lengthen the spine. Remember, right outer shoulder is forward and left bicep is back. So imagine I'm taking my thumb and pressing my thumb to really internally rotate that right arm. And then lean forward. Find that stretch in the left outer hip. Notice the breath. Sit bones back. Last one. And gently come up, release. And straighten the legs out. And let's come into a straddle here. So heels wide, and find, if you're on a wooden floor, find a line on the floor so that you see your heels are aligned in the same way. And grab a block or two blocks if you have it, or a blanket, something to rest your head. And then look at your toes, and make sure your toes are facing up, squaring the ceiling, so quads are facing the ceiling. And then walk the hands out, squeeze the quads into the hips. Squeeze all of the leg into your hips. And then tilt the pelvis forward. Sits bones back. So I'm saying sits bones back, but the quads are still facing the ceiling. And as you walk your hands forward, you can bring your forehead to the block here. So this is part active, part passive. The legs are active and sort of fueling the relaxation in the upper body. So we could all use less energy in our head, right? So let's bring all that energy into our legs. And just let the head totally, the weight of the head and the neck totally melt into the block. So I have the block on the second, or the highest height, just one. If you're a little less flexible, you want to do 2 blocks on top of one another, or you want to do a block on the lowest height, or you're a super gymnast person and you want to be totally flat with no blocks, that's also good. But no matter what, the inner thighs are rotating back. The quads are still engaged. We're spreading the legs, sits bones. And just dance with the contrast. Dance with the contrast of the full, deep, beautiful release in the head and neck, kind of letting all that screen time out into the floor. And then the strength and the sturdiness that's coming from the legs, that's really giving a deep release to the back. Whenever we do these twists, we really work the nervous system and relax the spinal cord, relax the brain. It's very, very effective. And as we know, the spinal cord and the brain have a lot to do with the gut. So when we twist, we are also twisting out the fascia in the gut, lowering our fight and flight response, coming into homeostasis, balance. Take the last couple breaths here. And exhaling, walking your hands back. Removing the block, and as you sit up, bring the hands inside the knee, and then use the arms to bend the knees. And then let's lie on our backs. And open up the arms to a T, and lift the hips and pop the hips over to the right. Let's see if I can get this right. And let's bring the right knee on top of the left. And then drop both knees to the left. Yay, I did it right. And then as I drop the knees to the left, that right shoulder is going to come up by a lot. So lift both shoulders and twist the waist so that you can lower the right shoulder just a little more and look over towards that right hand. And then at this point, cease to bring effort into the pose. Just let gravity lengthen the spine. And this takes a lot of surrender. This takes a lot of control. This contrast of control and surrender. How can we see this in our life? Are we too controlling of certain things in our life where we could be more surrendering? Or have we been beaten around the bush a bit, and where can we take control to feel more connected to who we are? Our agency. As we wind down practice, bring that sense of contrast and just allow the body to teach us how to live in that contrast. And more importantly, I think, to surrender to nature. effort or control so much. Just allowing the breath to bring us into this next phase. This next phase of awareness. Good. Inhale. Bring those knees up, rolling onto the sacrum again. Undo the right knee, feet flat. And then pop the hips over to the left side of your mat. And then left leg is going to come over top right, knees stacked. And then dropping the knees to the right. And then that left shoulder is going to come up, so I'm going to lift both shoulders and then adjust my waist so that I can comfortably look over towards my left hand. And in this reclined twist, let's allow the hips to be soft, the spine, the eyes, the face, the cheeks and the jaw. Allow this surrender, just washing over with each breath. If ever you've taken a restorative class, it's the most challenging part is stopping those brain cells, that nervous system from firing, and just letting ourselves be so simple and so natural. How deeply can you get into this pose? Even deeper still, just watching the breath. Wow. Take a big inhale. Your exhale, roll to the sacrum again, uncrossing the legs, bringing the hips flat. And then some options as we move our way into Shavasana. You can bring knees out to the side in sort of a Bakasana legs. And kind of soles of the feet together like this. You can lift the hips and bring a block under the sacrum, and then heel toe the feet wide so that the knees knock into each other. And do Shavasana like this. Or prepare for full Shavasana, or a combination. You can start in a restorative bridge pose, and then make your way to Shavasana, legs out. So trust your body and where you're feeling right now. And of course, just tucking those shoulder blades underneath you so the chest and arms can be free and clear, the neck can be free. Bringing the tongue to the upper palate behind the front teeth. Closing the eyes. Letting the eyeballs and the rims of the eyes, the temples, the cheeks and jaw mouth and nose all sink back into the back of the head, relaxing the neck, softening the heart, and bringing all of that wisdom into the heart, all of that wisdom that we know about our body. Gentle breaths. And letting that gentleness, heaviness move down into the sacrum and into the thick bones of the heels. Completely evening everything out. And I'll let you be in this Shavasana for a little bit longer and sign off here. Light in me honors the light in you. Namaste, yogis. Till next time.